Welcome back, listeners, to another episode of the Sports Shots Pod. This is episode 24. We're back the following week. We're being consistent again. And I'm Isaiah. I'm here with Kyle. And we're going to start with the first segment of the day like we always do. And what's in the cup? In my cup is scotch. I got still the Johnny Walker Black Label that I bought last week to celebrate. It's about halfway gone. And it'll probably be all gone by next week. So then I'll have to get a new drink. Whoa. What? He's drinking tequila?
We had to switch it up. Restocked a little bit. And it's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie.
It is it now. Okay.
Ever since I lived up here, my Spanish has gone down.
Tres agaves.
There you go. Nice and smooth. Only $40. And
That's not bad.
I almost ashed in my cup. Didn't have two shots in there.
I need a nice ashtray, man.
You should.
I need one. I've been just like dumping it on the concrete.
Oh my god, you're ghetto.
Bro, of course I am, bro.
I'm trying to look for I guess I left my tray outside, but on it says life is pain or something like that. Mm-hmm. And just, speaking the truth. Life can be pain. Pain is called life.
It is. It is. Can't get life experience without life lessons, right? So, I want to talk about first a sport that we never talk about. We probably mentioned it a couple times out of this pod.
It wouldn't by me, though. Because I have no idea. All I know is that you hit the ball far.
So, this past weekend was the Masters, right? The biggest golf tournament out of the four, in my opinion. And Rory McIlroy won the Masters this time around. The Masters is where you go, and if you win, you get the green jacket, right? The green jacket's the most famous thing about it. And this was his 17th time at the Masters.
So it's the Super Bowl of golfing.
Practically, there's 4 big tournaments, but the Masters is the one that's most well known. It's usually played at Augusta National.
So could I sign up to play?
No, you need your pro card.
So how do I get my pro card?
You start small in the tournaments, and then you'll get invited to a minor or an amateur tournament, and you have to place certain placement in those tournaments, and then you can get your pro card. Then that allows you to go to the bigger tournaments. Okay,
so you play golf way more than me, and me is 0. So even if you played once, you played more than me. So how is the scoring go? I don't know what a birdie is, what a eagle, a par 4, whatever the fuck. Teach me like I'm in fucking first grade.
Sure. Okay. So each round of golf is 18 holes, right? And the whole 18 holes par is a score of 0 or even, right? The goal is to try to get lower than 72. What 72 is how many shots you take throughout the whole 18 holes, right? So let's say the first hole is a par 4. What that means is that if I shoot a 4, if it takes me 4 shots to get it from the tee to the hole, then I got 0, right? Even. If it took me 3 shots, that's 1 under par, that's birdie, so that's -1. If I get 2 under, if I get it in 2 instead of 4, it's an eagle. Vice versa, +1 is bogey, 2 double bogey, 3 triple bogey, right? That's the pluses. So the goal is try to get the lowest amount of shots in a round of 18. That's the goal.
So basically, you want to get a hole in one each time.
Yeah, that's the goal. If you get a hole in one each time, you shot at 18, right?
Has anyone ever shot at 18?
Never.
And if they did, you mean you can't call them cheating? I mean, that's So there's a thing called a par 5, and the reason why it's there's par 3, par 4, par 5. Par 5, some par 5s are almost 600 yards, right? The longest drive ever recorded
without wind help is like 480 ever. Right? Now there's a different category. You got your pro golfers, then you got your long drive pros that only do to drive the ball the farthest. And then your pros. Your pros get it like 300 plus yards, whatever. Right. So the Masters is the collective score of 3 or 4 rounds of golf, right? So let's say I shot a 70, right? So I'm at -2 first round. Then I shot a 69 second round. Now I'm at -3 plus -2, so that's -5. So whoever has the best score commutative of the 3 rounds wins, right? So
I just learned golf.
Yeah, and then once you play it first, because I was a hater of golf early on. Didn't like it, thought I was boring to understand. Once you start playing, I was like, oh my gosh, this is
so it's kind of like baseball in a way. You get, like in baseball, you get 3 strikes, you're out. In golf, you get 4 shots apparently.
You get 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and then seeing a hole one is like seeing a walk-off grand slam. Those are the type of feelings that you see.
I've been entertaining the idea in my mind that I need to get out and just try, especially since where I work, a lot of them play golf, and the one thing they say about with our careers especially, all the deals are done on them golf courses.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, shit, I'm trying to follow the money. And it's like, I don't know a damn thing about golf.
Let me tell you about private firm golf or company golf. All you need to know is how to talk and how to drink. You don't need to be good at golf whatsoever.
Ditto on the drinking.
As long as you hit the ball, no matter where it goes, you're having a good time.
Because you're talking about whatever the fuck you're talking about.
Exactly.
So, and then y'all gonna talk shit about who sucks more. So
yeah, exactly.
You're gonna bond more.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun. So that was a quick lesson about golf and scoring, right? Golf scoring. It's really fun once you actually go and play and just be outside driving a golf cart. Drink a little, hit a few balls out in the sun. It's really enjoyable.
It's literally the only sport you could play while plastered.
Yeah. It's the only sport where you can literally go by yourself and still have fun. That's it. But the reason why we bring it up is because of the Masters. Rory McIlroy, don't get this wrong. He's Irish, I think.
I think he's English. England, whatever.
Yeah. He's Northern Irish. Okay, good. So Rory McIlroy.
I guess I started a war.
Overseas. He completed the career Grand Slam. Now, what the career Grand Slam is, there's 4 major tournaments that I mentioned: the Masters, the PGA Championship, the U.S. Open, and the Open Championship, which is in British. What is the British Open? He has won all 4 tournaments in his career, and he is the 6th player to ever have done that. The previous golfer to do that was in 2000 by Tiger Woods.
Now, I got something to say about that. Now, it's probably going to sound like I'm a hater or whatever, but
sure.
Just an honest question though. So we're calling it a Grand Slam, because they won it throughout their career. But in reality, if you're going to call it a Grand Slam, shouldn't they win all the tournaments in 1 year?
So that's what a Grand Slam is. That's why we call this one a career Grand Slam.
Okay.
Yeah. So a Grand Slam has happened before, one time ever, by someone in the 1930.
So Tiger never even did it in 1 year.
No.
Wow.
No, Tiger's elite run from 97 to 2000. No Jack Nicklaus 2. He also has a career Grand Slam, but there's only one person ever that has done the Grand Slam, which is all 4 tournaments in one season.
Who's that?
That was back in 1930. I mean, black and white,
Back when we couldn't play.
Exactly. We were just caddies. His name was Bobby Jones.
Not even. It worked.
The only golfer to win all 4 major championships in a single calendar year.
Oh, what's his name again?
Bobby Jones.
You sure he wasn't?
I don't know. Let me see. He did it in 1930.
That's a
only
black,
guy to
that's
ever
a black
do it.
name.
Sounds like it. Let me see his picture. Nah, this man ain't black, man. I'll tell you right now.
Damn.
This man has his hair parted in the middle.
Okay, we get it.
This man, he's got, look, I know you, maybe I'll show this in the pod. Look at this. This ain't no minority. Look at this. You know what I'm talking about? Golly.
Damn. Yeah, that was definitely in the 30s.
It did. Once I was barbecuing outside during the last few rounds. So McIlroy led the final round before the final round started by like 4. Then someone came back and tied him at the very end to go into a playoff. So if there's a tie at the last round, it goes into a playoff. What that playoff is, you play the hole over again until someone wins it. If it's a tie, you play again. Tie, play again.
Now I see why they'd be crashing out. Because, like, if I had a big lead and then I started missing towards the end, and then they catch up, like getting it in like 1 or 2 shots, like, you know, that, that now I see why they'd be crashing out. That's justified.
Yeah, so then on the 18th hole, the guy, Justin Rose, I think is his name, was the one that was tied with him. He had an awesome tournament. Came out of nowhere. He's like a 40-plus-year-old.
Who's that golfer from UT?
Jordan Spieth.
Okay. Is he any good? I hear his name.
He was elite for a good chunk. He was really good. I think he tied like in the 10s in this Masters, or like in the teens, which is still good, right? But yeah, so it went into a playoff. Justin Rose made it in par, right, in 4. Then McIlroy had like a 5-foot putt to make it in 3, a birdie to win. And when I'm telling you, there was silence out of tens of thousands of people just watching this putt.
See, I'm an asshole. I would have been like...
Yeah, so, you know, golf is like one of the most formal sports ever, right? Augusta is one of the the Masters is one of the most strictest like tournaments ever.
Okay, as I be just straight up honest. Knowing if I'm just like being my loose self, would they kick me out?
They've given people lifetime bans because of it.
Damn. Damn, it's like that? Shit.
Yeah. But one thing I respect about Augusta, one of the roses, they never changed their concession prices since the beginning of the Masters.
Oh, so they're like the Costco of golf then.
You could buy a hot dog for $1.50, a soda for $1.
Yeah, okay, that's what's up.
That's one thing they've never changed, right?
Something else I bet them never changed over there. I mean, it is in rural Georgia. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but yeah. So Rory McIlroy completed the career Grand Slam, only the 6th golfer to ever do it. He fell to his knees, very emotional about it. There was a loud roar over the audience. And it's a prestigious group, just seeing people get this green jacket. I know it's like might seem dumb or stuff, but once you actually see like the lineup, it's pretty cool.
I mean, people. I mean, can't call it dumb. I mean, people think us crashing into each other at 100 miles an hour for a hunk of metal that's really only celebrated by 32 billionaires is they probably think that's dumb. But
yeah, now. The most wins for the Masters is Jack Nicklaus has 6. Tiger Woods has 5. But, I mean, Tiger got his 5 from 1997 to 2019, right? 22 years, right? 22 chances at Masters. He only won 5. This is just how hard it is to actually, win one. But he was so good that he won 5, right? So, but anyway, that's it on golf. I don't want to spend any more time on that.
Well, you know what? I learned more about golf in the last 10 minutes than I have in my first 31 years of life. So,
yeah. Hey, once you go to the driving range, just start hitting balls. Like, oh, hey man, this might actually be something. That's how mine went.
Nah, I don't have time for litigation because I done took out someone's windshield.
But I kind of want to move on to NFL talk. Not really draft yet. We'll do a mock draft for next week's episode. We'll probably put that one out early.
Yeah, and I'm curious about this guy from Ohio State that apparently had played over 2,000 snaps and only gave up 3 holding penalties. We got to look into that dude.
Ohio State? You talking about Josh Simmons or Donovan Jackson?
One of them.
Or it's maybe the guard.
One of them. Because that shit is crazy. Because I'm like, how the hell?
Yeah. I was. You remember we talked about Will Campbell a little bit? The tackle for LSU. We were talking about how he had short arms. Yeah, I was looking at his stats. He started left tackle since he was a freshman in the SEC, right? He played over 2,000 snaps, only allowed 4 sacks in the SEC.
That's crazy.
That is stupid. And now people are trying to dog him for his arm length. I hope the Patriots draft him. But anyway, the thing I wanted to discuss was about Skip Bayless, one of the best, most characteristic persons in the sports media world right now, right? Him, Stephen A., Shannon Sharp. You cannot talk about, crazy, stupid takes or crazy opinions without naming one of those 3, right? But there's this YouTube called Jubilee. And what Jubilee does, they basically take one professional person in this field against 20 people that oppose or are opposed against this person's opinions or field, right? So that's what Jubilee did with Skip Bayless. I listened to it while I was at work, and we all know Skip is a Brady lover, right? He's not hiding that.
He's on his knees for Brady.
He probably will. But one of his arguments, right, how it works is Skip Bayless says something, says a statement, and then the timer starts, and then someone runs up to the chair, and they debate over it, right? But one of the ones he said, and I'll read this quote for quote, Bill Belichick is overrated. The Patriots dynasty was 80% Tom Brady. Right, now, being a Patriots fan, being a Brady fan, I agree with the majority of this quote. The word overrated to describe Bill Belichick, I could understand why, but when the fans were debating or arguing with Skip, I don't think they were proving great points. So, obviously, if you don't know, Bill Belichick as a head coach before and after Tom Brady, awful, right? His stint with the Browns, losing record, like 40-60, right? His stint with the Patriots after Brady, losing record. Did make one playoff run, or let me rephrase that. He did make 2 playoff runs without Brady. No, they didn't go to playoffs with Matt Castle, even though they were 11-5.
No, they did not. I was going to correct.
Crazy year in AFC.
Yeah. Who won the division that year? Pop quiz.
The Jets.
Nope.
The Dolphins.
Yep. That was the Wildcat year. No, that wasn't. Yes, it was. That was the Wildcat season.
Was it? Okay. It was that 2010 season, whatever. And then they made it to playoffs with Mac Jones, but lost in the first round.
What, another pop quiz?
What's up?
Which team was it against when Brady tore his knee that season?
Let me try to think back in my memory bank and try to see the colors. Brady was home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was the AFC rival. If it was, then it was the Jets.
Well, there definitely was a rival later. in Brady's career?
Oh, dude, this is a good question. I'm asked one question. Was it AFC or NFC? It was AFC, right?
AFC.
Man, oh man. Gosh.
You ought to be tired of
Chargers.
No, you ought to be tired of hearing about them. That's your hint.
It was the Chiefs?
Yep.
Damn.
I think it was Tamba Ali who sacked him.
Oh man, I used to love Tamba Ali.
I did too.
I used to love him. Him and Justin Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Anyways,
this is 2 years.
Yeah. Anyways, I was just throwing those at you. You know how we do.
That was good. Yeah, exactly. You gotta test each other's knowledge on the spot. But the fans' arguments to this was that Bill Belichick was a great defensive coordinator with the Giants prior to his head coaching gig with the Browns. And yes, okay, you had the greatest defensive player of all time, which with Lawrence Taylor, right? Not saying a one-man edge decides a season, which sometimes he does. Lawrence Taylor was a game-deciding factor in some games. But I believe they said, and these fans were very knowledgeable regarding stats. I'm pretty sure they knew what the topics were going to be and did their research. Also, Brady, every time Brady's won a Super Bowl, he's usually had a top 10 defense, which is needed. However, the defense didn't always come in and save him, right? You let the Eagles put up 41 points in the Super Bowl, and somehow you have a top 10 defense, but they put up 41 points. Brady broke Super Bowl records during that and still lost, right? You let Eli Manning come back and put up points against you as a wild card team, right?
Yeah, but that was a good ass Giants defense. So both times.
Oh, great pass rush. Brady still did what he could do, but we know how.
I think those games against the Giants were his lowest scoring Super Bowls.
One of them was, the lowest scoring one was against the Rams, 10-3, right?
I don't even remember that one because I completely boycotted. I boycotted that year because I was pissed after that LA. It was LA, New Orleans.
Oh yeah, that was the year of the pass interference. Right?
Yeah. I did not watch that Super Bowl at all. I boycotted the fuck out of it. I was so pissed.
Oh, that was that year. So the argument is that Bill Belichick is a great defensive coordinator, which he is, right? That's what happens when you only draft defensive players for the Patriots, right? How many he drafted? I'll give him. He drafted 2 Hall of Fame offensive players in his 22 years with the Patriots, or 23 years, right? But then he drafted, let's just say, right, Ty Law, right, Hall of Famer. Vince Wilfork might be a Hall of Famer. Willie McGinnis, who holds the most sacks in playoffs.
It's funny. We kind of had this argument the other day.
A little bit, yeah. Our argument was that how many Hall of Famers did Brady play with on the offensive side, right? Or the
ones that actually contributed more to Brady winning, more so than like Brady doing it himself. Because I think I made a comment saying that Mike Evans was like the best receiver that he's ever played with.
Yeah, and I agree with that, right? So what Kyle, to elaborate what Kyle was saying, is like Mike Evans is someone that didn't need Brady to be great, right? Compared to guys like Chris Hogan, Danny Amendola, right?
Edelman.
Wes Welker, Edelman, right? Guys like that. Where Mike Evans, he was already a Hall of Famer without Brady. That's 100%, right? Arguably Randy Moss, was a Hall of Famer without Brady. He did have that record-breaking season of 21 receiving touchdowns, and Brady had the 50 passing touchdowns. But one thing that kind of like ticked me off a bit is that this person said when he went to Tampa that Jameis Winston could have won a Super Bowl with that team.
No, because Jameis Winston had that team.
Exactly. And it's like that fucking... I was like, what are you talking... And some of these people that want to go argue with him, Skip, stayed calm and composed because this is what he does for a living, right? Some of these fans look like they want to jump out the chair and like jump on him.
It's almost like Skip like feeds off of it, like, you know, exactly. It's like it empowers him. The rage of the people raging out at him because he done said some more stupid shit. He's done said this for so many years where I've completely tuned him out, and I forget that he's
Stephen A. They're out.
Stephen A. Are you ready for Stephen A. to be president?
Oh my gosh, dude. he's the Kanye of ESPN.
Hey, you know what though? Can you imagine the both of them in a debate?
Who? Stephen A. and Skip?
No, Stephen A. and Trump. Dude, I would I would actually set an alarm to make sure I don't miss that shit.
I would buy pizza for that shit. I would hold the first host the debate.
And you know what's sad? That's not what a debate is supposed to be.
No, it's going from politics to entertainment real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then a Patriots fan went up to argue this point, right? About, Belichick overrated, Brady's 8% of the dynasty. He said that when he went to Tampa Bay, that he had to bring Gronk because he can't do it without Gronk. And this is a Patriots fan.
He won 3 before Gronk.
Exactly. The 28-3 game, Gronk wasn't there. That was Martellus Bennett.
4 before Gronk.
Gronk was hurt. Gronk only has 4, but he only played in 3 out of the 7. It's like, that's why when I was like watching these people, and it's like,
how old were these people?
They're like our age. Like our age.
That's why. I don't even know why I'm tripping there.
There was a couple there that were like younger than us, probably like early 20s, right? But majority were our age, and it's like, dude, you guys are speaking out of like emotion.
You can't argue with a generation that ain't never read out of a textbook.
Exactly, bro. And it's like, it's just wild. It's just wild. Now
that is wild.
Like, none of these people were making good arguments, and then this lady went up, and she's an Eagles fan, and she's like, I've been watching since Randall Cunningham, right? So she kind of showed her age a little bit, and she said,
so like 50s.
She didn't look 50s, but I mean, that's usually how it goes. But she's like, Bill Belichick's defense like made me cry, like made me have nightmares.
Oh yeah, so she remembered them. She remembered them late '80 Giants teams.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, but it's like that was. I mean, you don't remember the Giants for Belichick. You remember them for Lawrence Taylor and Bill Parcells, right? That's who you read.
The late '80s defense whatever, was dominated by 2 men: Bill Belichick and Buddy Ryan.
Yeah.
So, those, of course, you can't, if you play that kind of defense today, you're facing capital murder charges. But, you're not going to see that kind of play, coaching style anymore. Ever.
No.
Ever. Everything has an error. And that was that era then. We're in this era now, and that's just what it is.
And what I think about this Jubilee video is that people were just going up there just to get their 15 seconds of fame.
That's all it was.
Because some of these arguments were like, dude, what are you talking about? One argument I did disagree with, Skip, was that Patrick Mahomes is dramatically overrated.
Not dramatically.
No,
not even overrated. Not even overrated.
Yeah, exactly. I want to call. He's a great quarterback. You know, that's without a doubt.
Okay, so it's good to know Skip is doing what he does still, and even though no one hasn't really heard from him since he got phased out of FS1, especially after when Shannon left.
And then just to talk about the other two topics they talked about, Michael Jordan is the GOAT and laughably better than LeBron James. And then
I would say he's a GOAT, but I'm not going to say he's laughably better.
No, yeah, agreed. And then the last one, or the first one, was Magic Johnson is the greatest Laker of all time. I got Kareem. And then Kobe, honestly.
Really? Honestly, though, that's not like a hot take. That's depends on who you're talking to.
That like
depends on what era you're watching, because like I
get Kareem early on.
Yeah, I mean, and then you're gonna have some super old cast that's gonna probably even say Jerry West just for the fuck of it.
Yeah, have you seen the logo? Do you know who the logo is?
Like, so it's
that boy was cooking whites while being white.
It really depends on who you ask.
It does, yeah.
Which tells you how great the Lakers have been for so long that there's so many.
It's going to be
generations,
a century.
Like so.
That's why them and the Celtics have always been good with their rivalry, but they don't really show it nowadays too much.
Hey, the Celtics are still. I mean, they're both still winning. I mean,
they are. No, yeah. You're right.
So.
But we'll use that to segue to nowadays NBA.
I'll tell you who's not winning after having a glorious history, or a brief glorious history. The Bulls have not done fucking shit since Jordan. Had a brief.
Oh my gosh!
Revival.
They're actually down 20.
Yeah, so
they're down 20.
A brief revival with Derrick Rose. And someone decided to play voodoo on him. So I don't know who he pissed off in his life, but whatever seance or prayer that they said, it worked. And after that was it. So like they couldn't even try to put out the effort to show that we're going to continue to compete after the history that they had with those 90s teams. And I don't think that's really not even talked about enough. Like, why haven't they done shit?
Yeah, since the fucking 90s.
I mean, it's like, you could... What other team you can say, you can argue about that they had glory days that's honestly not doing fucking shit? Like...
The Pistons.
Do you count that 04 title, though? I mean, they won in this century. Yeah. They haven't, I mean...
That's true. The Trailblazers.
It's pretty much been an afterthought my entire existence.
That's why. I'm trying to see. Lakers are still good. Celtics are still good. Bucks are back.
But, yeah, them winning, that officially brought back.
The Spurs dynasty has been over for a while. I know it's not... It's still kind of fresh-ish, right?
It's fresh in my life. It's fresh in my life.
Yeah, it's in the middle of your life.
You've seen the dicey your whole life. That's the core of my basketball memories growing up.
Speaking of that, did you see the video of Robinson? A fan came up to him with a jersey,
and he denied him
to sign it.
Yeah,
and he said no. And the fan threw the jersey on the ground and just left.
Crashed out. Yeah.
Dude, what?
I didn't see the whole video, so I don't know the full context. I just know he denied, signing it, and then something happened. Said no. Yeah.
And he threw the jersey on the ground. It's like, dude, I have no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind that man was going to sell that jersey immediately after. It was to be an eBay listing of that shit up.
It's no more about for the love of the fan. It's just knowing that everything is about a dollar chase. So he's just like, no,
like the fucking when Wemby gave away one of his only game worn jerseys to a kid, and it went up for sale. It's like, come on. I'm pretty sure that was the dad's doing, right?
Yeah, of course. But it's like everything got to go for sale. Everything got to go viral. There's no more. there's no more like keepsakes when it comes to like sports. I was literally just saying this. Funny, I just said this to my mom. I was talking to her because I was saying how I bought tickets for my dad to go to the Twins game today. Well, I didn't buy.
I saw that on our sports page.
I didn't buy. I worked for them, and they came free. So whatever. Still the same.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was saying how I was explaining how to transfer the ticket, and I was like, long gone are the days where you had the paper ticket, and it's just like you remember. I remember when I first started going to Astro games, like I used to always keep the tickets, of course, it's been years and moving all over the place. Of course, some things are gone, but one of those tickets was the game we was at when they clinched the 05 wild card. Another ticket I had was when I saw them play the Marlins, and the pitching matchup was Clemens versus Josh Beckett. And it was like, I know it was like a 2-1 ball game as advertised. Trying to remember, I know I had like a lot of Cardinals tickets because I went to a lot of Astro Cardinal games. And it's just like, this whole generation ain't going to experience that. Like, holding that physical memory, like everything gotta be on the phone or whatever. It's like, I don't know, there was just something about that. And I'm just glad I'm just glad we're old enough to have experienced like the last of it before it went away forever.
Yeah, I mean, some of those tickets, of famous games or playoff games are sold, like still to this day.
Yeah, they are.
Passed around as memorabilia. But yeah, as of we're recording this on Wednesday, the two play-in tournament games were yesterday. Magic whooped the Hawks to then play the Celtics.
Trey
on
quit.
Thursday.
He wants out.
Huh?
Trey quit. He wants out.
Yeah,
he wants out
he's
so
done.
bad.
Man dropped 28,
and he walked off the court.
And Warriors beat the Grizzlies.
Man,
to advance.
Why we gotta get the Warriors again?
I'll tell you why. Jimmy buckets. Man,
but you know what? I ain't about to be a little bitch. Bring them on, shit. Man, the Warriors, they done made me. They done sent me and the Rockets home crying. Probably just me. After they went 0 for 27, that fucking Game 7. I still to this day say that if not for that, they beat them in 2018. Everything was set up for that. Yeah.
He's pouring another drink right now.
I literally said I did not want to fucking see Draymond in the playoffs. I'm tired of his ass. Sometimes I just want to like fucking jump into the court and just swing at him. I don't give a fuck.
Kyle's going in for a second pour of the tequila right now.
The last fucking team I wanted to see was the fucking Warriors, man. Because at any point in time, Steph can just drop 50 on you.
Oh, I didn't. You know who's the best playoff player right now of this era? When he gets in, Jimmy Butler. And that man is in.
And let's just go ahead and fucking pair him with Steph Curry.
You remember what he did in that Mickey Mouse bubble?
Basically, he plays the entire game in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, it was like Josh Hart. Josh Hart is like Jimmy. Let me say that because Josh Hart plays 40 minutes.
Oh man, and Memphis could have won.
Yeah, they had a chance. They had an opportunity. You know. Hey, real quick.
What?
If you don't mind, I want to pivot to NIL stuff.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to rant about that shit. I knew that this was gonna happen. I mean, like
Nick Saban was right.
I mean, like, look, man, it's not that I'm not about, the players getting their money for the universities making billions off their backs. But, like, there's no teachings of maturity with this shit. Like, basically every kid, because social media has every freaking kid thinking that they are a brand. You're not a brand. You're just a guy. I'm sorry to break it to you. Like, you're just a guy. You're just a guy with a social media platform, like everyone else. And the shit done got to their head now where I just keep thinking about, like, the kids that's, like, studying science and shit that you're going to need to study your brain because you done took too many fucking hits, but you're over here walking around like fucking hotshot on campus. And I'm specifically talking about that dude from Tennessee. Like,
Nico, I think his name.
Whatever the fuck. Like, and then what about that kid from UNLV that quit mid-season and then they still ended up winning 10 games with whoever came up after him that wasn't asking for for crazy amount of money in NIL. I knew this shit was going to happen. It wasn't about the kids getting paid for what they do on campus. It's these big-headed ass kids that think that they're better than everyone else on the team, on campus.
Mm-hmm.
You're 18, 19 years old. You haven't proven shit to be asking for $3, $4, $5 million from a fucking university, a public fucking institution.
Awesome. So just for context, Nico, the starting quarterback, 20-year-old, already agreed on a $4 million NIL a year deal, right? With Tennessee, already making $4 million at 20 years old. He wanted $8 million for next year. He saw what Carson Beck was getting in Miami, the $4 million, $5 million, whatever. He wanted more, and what he did, he held out. He didn't go to practice. He didn't go to team meetings. What the head coach say? You're done. You could get replaced way faster in college than you can in the NFL. There's some hungry redshirt freshmen waiting for his chance.
Whoever was behind him in a depth chart, they replaced him and they pissed off right now. Tennessee is about to go undefeated. Just because.
Tennessee's about to win the SEC. They're about to,
who the fuck does he think he is?
No clue, dude. No clue. And then I read reports that, the dad was a driving factor, but come on, this guy's an adult. Yeah, he's only 20, but he's an adult, right?
Nah.
Then I heard that his party is not confident that he'll do well in the NFL, so they want to try to get on the money now.
That's another thing I wanted to say. What the hell is it with these 18 and 19-year-olds on campus, on fucking college, with a camp? This shit, man.
They're bringing a posse along. Dude,
bro, I don't know, man. I guess, I'm perfectly okay with being get off my lawn guy. I don't give a fuck. This shit is stupid to me. It's fucking stupid. You're 18 years old. You're unproven. Go to fucking school.
Go to class. Go study. Dude, are we going to see a salary cap for NIL deals soon? Oh man! Imagine you're like the redshirt freshman QB, and the stars.
And the main reason why I'm all for NIL is because I think of players like us that have to scrap our way through to get to make it on a team. Like the way I did. The 1 year I was on a roster. And but all the time that you're spending with that, you can't work, you can't do anything. So those players, they need some money in their pockets, and you can't.
Sure, agreed.
So that is like at that point, but not some big-headed ass, arrogant ass, unproven ass kid who is holding a university hostage because he thinks he's better than everyone else just because you could throw a football. But when you can't fucking chew your food and you gotta eat mashed potatoes and need assistance putting a spoon to your fucking mouth, you're gonna need those fucking science majors that you was siphoning all their funding for because you're demanding it just so you can step foot on that fucking field.
You know, I saw a funny joke by a Tennessee fan page today. They went to Chick-fil-A and went out of their way to ask for no Polynesian sauce. You don't have to mute when you're laughing. You could unmute me.
Like that. I had to like hit it fast when because that shit I wasn't expecting that.
Oh,
bro,
shit,
man,
I saw that, dude. That made me laugh,
bro. Talk about being specific. Holding the grudge. That's like beyond petty.
That one got me. That was so
but no, for real though, it's like I don't know the shit. I don't like the shit, man. I don't like it.
Neither do I. It was cool to start with, but then they just got out of control.
It was gonna get it. Here's the thing, though. Dude was already getting paid. They just now actually, I guess, publicly sanctioned it or whatever the fuck. Like, all the shit's been happening.
It's legal now.
Yeah, it's just, but it's just, God, man, the arrogance with it, man. That's, yeah.
Anyway, I want to.
Honest question. One more honest question.
Wait, yeah.
Honest question.
What's up?
Where's the motivation to get to the NFL?
Exactly. I have the same question. No clue. What if I make $4 million in my career and I'm smart with money? Why do I need to go put my body on the line just to make more money when I could do it?
Here's the problem. Just being honest.
Sure. Yeah.
A lot of these kids ain't gonna be smart with the money.
Of course.
As soon as they get their $4 million, they're gonna be like Carson Beck and having these expensive ass cars stolen.
Exactly. They're taking a communications degree.
Because what is the main thing that kids do when they get money these days?
Cars.
But not besides the car, spend it. But
spend it.
The key answer I was looking for was they post it.
Yeah.
So now everybody knows.
Everybody knows. I'm watching it, putting my ski mask on. Drop the coordinates. Where are you? Which club are you going to be at?
Oh, don't worry about the coordinates. They tag every place they go.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, listen, we have the same opinions on it, the same values. It's cool when it started. Now it's getting out of control, and to hold out in college is crazy. That's crashing out. That's what. That is. Now what? Now where you go? You ain't gonna get your $8 million. No other SEC team's gonna say like, yeah, we'll give you $8 million to be our starting quarterback.
That's the thing. That's another thing. Also, you can't be doing this if you're a quarterback because the lineman that's protecting you is not getting the shit that you're getting, and you're doing this shit, close. And you need to be protected by them. Oh hell no.
I just want to do a quick recap of Major League. I don't got that much time left. I have to go back and do something.
Why is Bregman the best hitter right now?
Oh, dude, it makes me so sad. So sad that he is the highest paying third baseman now. Good for him.
How do you think Devers feels seeing him rake right now? It's like the Red Sox front office is looking at Devers like this.
Yeah, you won at third base. you little boy.
They're giving him that look like.
You see this? You see the white boy out there?
You see why we
white man sport.
You see. Okay, longest yard.
I know. Yeah. White man hit some baseball.
They're like, you see why we paid this fool $40 million? You see why we told you're not playing third no more?
Now grab the bat and then go back to the bench.
And shut the fuck up.
24 strikeouts. Get out of here.
Damn. Could have just ended it and just told him to shut the fuck up. Yeah. He didn't have to
I know.
You didn't have to remind him.
I just spat on him. Right there. I just spat on him. You give me
the Don't leave that shit at 24.
Okay, I'll stop.
Leave that shit in 24, please.
Let's move on to some surprising teams. Moral of the first topic: we miss Brady. Brady's doing great. Padres. What are I thought the Dodgers were going to be the hot early start, but it turns out it's the Padres. Is it Tatis? Is Tatis like living up to his name again? Is that what we're seeing? 348 batting average, 6 home runs, 14 RBIs, 425 on base percentage. He leads all hitting stats for his team. So he might be the guy. Manny Machado also over 300, 500 slugging. Baseball's a long season, right? We all know that, but it's always good to start off hot, right? And another team kind of coming out of nowhere, the Angels. The Los Angeles Angels.
They'll fade.
Oh, yeah, they will, I'm sure. Trout's doing good. Joe Adell's finally living up to the hype a little bit, like we mentioned before.
Man, imagine if all this was happening if they had some Japanese dude on their team.
Some guy that, it's like top 5 pitcher, top 5 hitter. Like, imagine.
Like the unicorn of baseball.
Yeah. Like, it's just some guy that wins the World Baseball Classic for them, too, striking out Mike Trout. I think they would be good if they had that guy, right? There's no chance. That
surely they put together a team.
Surely having the 2 greatest baseball players in this era, they would do good, right?
They have to.
It makes sense.
You play also in the richest city in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. They didn't fuck that up, right?
Oh, bad. Real bad. They did an awesome job drafting him 2018. Putting him on the team. Awesome. Great. You brought the baseball world Shohei. Thank you. And you did nothing with him. Goes to the Dodgers 1 season, World Series. MVP again. 50-50 season.
You know what that is? That's the Dodgers making up for letting go of Yordan Alvarez.
That's a big makeup. It's a big makeup.
Can you imagine if they had all of them on the team? Yordan, Ohtani, Mookie, Freddie.
So, okay, those 4, put them 1 through 4. Mookie's 1, or Freeman.
No, Ohtani's leading off.
Oh, you have Ohtani leading off?
Ohtani is leading off. Mookie's hitting.
Damn.
Mookie's hitting second. Freddie is third, and Yordan is fourth.
Damn. I would put Shohei at third and then move Mookie and Freddie.
The only reason why Shohei is leading off is because he's stealing on first pitch.
Yeah, and plus more bats.
Every time Mookie is at the plate, he's going to have a runner on second base. Minimum.
That's true.
So
fast.
Yeah.
And don't even talk about Shohei's speed. The man is quick.
Gosh, man. The Dodgers are the modern day Yankees when they had Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. That's who the Dodgers are. So, and how many World Series did those Yankees teams win? So
I'm gonna guess. I'm pretty sure you know.
Well, I mean, I'm not.
14.
Probably should. I mean, there was only 6-8 teams in the league at the time. That's who the Dodgers are today. And
yeah, they are.
People just get used to it. This is the biggest Dodger hater right here. They're going to win.
Say history repeats itself.
They're going to win. They're going to repeat this year. I mean, when you got the money and the resources, it's amazing what it can do for you. And
they somehow got better than last year.
They're going to win. Just hope for them to fuck themselves like they've done in the past. That's the only reason why they'll lose. Other than that, it's a wrap. Dodgers are going all the way. So
yeah,
doesn't matter what the Padres are doing right now. They're going to lose to the Dodgers. They will be reminded that they are the little brother of Los Angeles.
Yep. We'll end it on that.
And mainly because they don't deserve to win shit because of that corny ass video that came out years ago. I'm still like,
the Padres?
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, like, ugh.
Oh gosh. Yeah, we should get it there. Thank you everyone for listening. We appreciate y'all. This was a fun episode. We're back. Tune in next time because we're gonna be doing a mock draft, and that's gonna be very visual based. So, and we're doing a whole first round mock draft, all 32 teams. So tune in next time.
Let's just go ahead and just make it known that the Browns are gonna fuck up. So Cleveland, don't bother tuning in.
Yep. You guys are going to ruin Travis Hunter's career. But tune in to the next time. See you later.